Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.
Well, here we are. This is the Bizarre Alien from Outer Space, and this is episode 7 of Beyond the Podcast of 1984. And going back and kind of reviewing these episodes, I never realized how boring I really am. So if you think I'm boring, I agree with you. My introductions are really boring. The theme is really cool, though. I really appreciate that, Tim. I really love it. I think it's really cool. I will say again, it reminds me a lot of a really creepy scene from John Carpenter's The Prince of Darkness, which is one of my favorite horror films, one of my very favorite Carpenter films. You know what scene I'm talking about, right? If you don't, then go do your homework. Go watch Prince of Darkness. And don't listen to those morons out there, the so-called critics. Whatever. They don't like anything. They don't like anything cool. But, whatever. That's an opinion. Anyhow, what is this episode about? Well, I want to talk about myself. And, I am being an egotist because this is my show. And I already stated in the past that, hey, I'm talking about stuff that I like. I don't really feel like talking about stuff I don't like. I may do that, though, because, not everything's all fa la 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 la. But I was really depressed earlier, thinking about life and just thinking about stuff. And I'm like, it just seems like I'm constantly screwing up. And I don't know. I've done a lot of stuff in my life, especially, underground stuff, like doing fanzines and comic books and my band and, other bands and being in other bands and stuff like that, doing tapes and CDRs and even one 7-inch I paid half for. That was the split 7-inch with the Gary Tarashi, with, of course, the earwigs. And that was a big thrill. I love that record. It's pretty horrible, but, hey, it's fun. Anyhow, and of course, like other stuff I've done, like making short films and all that. But I just feel like I admire anybody that does art, or like the above, the previously just mentioned stuff, and they actually really put it out there. You know what I mean? You do like a tape, and you make a lot of copies, and you make flyers. I used to do that, but I just never really, got my stuff out there too well. And I admire people that do, like just like people that, get books published or whatever, like, put out an album. And I guess some people that use like Kickstarter or GoFundMe, which I know some people are really down on that. Personally, I'm not. I think if they overcharge on a release, that's kind of stupid, but whatever. If you're a big fan of the band and you want to, like, give a bunch of money to somebody, to get their record, hey, that's fine. Very limited edition, whatever. My thing is, I don't care. That's what you want to do it. I've never had the incentive to do that, and I doubt I ever will. I would love to do another, like a 7-inch. I haven't done one in years. I think the last record I did was 2009, and that was the one I just mentioned, the split with the Gary Tarashi, which was on my label, and Fuck Music Productions from Zach Howard. And it's just a really fun record to do. I just don't really have the incentive, and the problem is, like, I always have all these ideas, to do stuff. The last few years, my recording process has gone down the toilet. My 4-track died. What's it been, about 2 years ago? I got really pissed off because the stop button wouldn't stop. I recorded like a 30-second conflagration song. I was actually getting ready to work on a full-length album. So I was really excited. I want to do something new. And it's longer than that, maybe. But anyways, stop button wouldn't work. So I freaking took my knife and I smashed out the stop button. And the funny thing is, it turns on and everything, but stop button is dead. Anyhow, people are like, oh yeah, you should try computers. Well, I've got all this other stuff. I ended up, I'm using this right now. I'm using my Zoom recording device, which works cool. I appreciate this. This is excellent for a podcast. I told Tim, and he didn't realize. He's like, "Well, what do you record with?" I said, "Well, I got this, and it works pretty good, man. I like using it. I feel comfortable using it. It's fun. I've recorded some stuff on it. I've done some noise, and it actually came out okay. But I tried to do some like punk stuff and some metal and grind stuff, and it just pure garbage. It came out. It was just garbage. Sound quality is terrible. Like you could hear the drum machine, but you couldn't hear anything else. That's another thing. My poor Dr. Boss, my power cord doesn't work right. That thing's screwed. I don't have my 4-track now. And I don't have a computer setup. My laptop kind of sucks. It's sluggish. It's actually kind of decorroded in the corner. You know, when you lift up the screen, the whatever, you know, how you open up a laptop. And a corner of that's like getting decorroded. It's a decorroded piece of crap. I've had it for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, probably longer than that. I don't know. I still got some hard drives from my last 2 computers, which I want to like to try to get stuff off of them. I got a lot of videos and pictures and art and stuff I've done, especially, you know, a lot of stuff with my buddy Mike. And I got a show. Well, it wasn't really a show, but we did a video. I had him play with the earwigs, and it's a really crazy set. It was actually on a 3-way split with Total Shit Project, and I can't remember the other dudes. I can't remember the name of his band, but you know what? I don't really care. This guy totally flaked out anyways, but his noise is really cool. He was a good friend, and he just, whatever, disappeared. Anyways, wherever you're at, I can't remember the dude's name. Nice face. So, what's my whole point here? So, I've been trying, and I got really depressed just thinking about crap, and I'm like, I just don't do good enough. You know, I'm thinking about it. I do crap. And I felt bad too because Tim, as some of you know, I did a comic book a couple months ago, probably longer than that now, called The WTF Monster. And it's my tribute, homage, parody to John Carpenter's The Thing, which is one of my very, very, very favorite horror films of all time. I've loved it. I saw it back in I think it came out, 82, I believe. Did it come out in 82? And I saw it in 83. And I've always loved that movie. I mean, I'm a huge, huge fan. I've had obsessions with it. I could tell a whole story about that, but yeah, I had a really big obsession, just looking up anything and everything I could about the movie and some of the characters and the theories and all that about The Thing. Anyhow, so the comic came out. Tim printed up 25 copies for me. And I've done squat with it. I've done squat. And I'm really hoping that by the time that you folks hear this episode, because who knows, these episodes might come out sooner than the first season. I'm not sure what's going on here. I need to do a few more episodes. And believe me, I'm excited about it. They're coming. They're going to be coming out. You can hear my boring voice. And I actually don't really care. If people think I'm boring, then don't listen to this. But I was just, I don't know. I'm definitely not giving up, but it just sucks because every day, like the last day or so, I've been trying to do stuff like, get my CDs together, my band, and maybe start getting art together. And just, I mean, it sucks because I get a lot of nice comments from people. I get emails and whatever from, cool people, man. Sometimes, on Instagram, people I don't really know, they're like, yeah, dude, earwigs are legends. And I really appreciate that. I mean, I don't know what exactly makes me a legend. Maybe because I've been going since, 1990 and I'm still going. I've slowed a lot, but I'm still doing stuff, got a bunch of crap done. A lot of stuff. It's been sitting there on CD, on CD masters. I haven't done anything, and I don't have the know-how. I don't have the correct setup for it, so I can't really do anything right now. I don't have whatever. I can't remember the name of that music program. You put CDs in and you can upload, and then you can make, you know what I mean? I can't even think straight. It doesn't really freaking matter. Maybe the stuff will come out. You never know. I might just get suddenly a huge second wind and go, oh, hey, I did it. Here's my catalog. I got a bunch of stuff out. Because I have a CD burner. I can only burn one CD at a time. I know how to run that, surprisingly. But I have a lot of CDs. I have stuff from way, 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 way back. I've got like a couple of my very earliest recordings that my buddy Zach put together me that what was it? God. Terror Alerts in the Dark Basement, and I believe it's Dismembered Fake Live November 90, which was like my first fake live tape. And it was fun. I had a blast doing that. Anyhow, I'd like to blame my health issues, but I got to quit doing that. I'm kind of lazy. I am tired a lot. I'm weak a lot. I don't have the drive. I got a lot of people that get on my back. They're like, dude, you got to do all this. And it's like, yeah, I'd love to. But I'm dealing with a lot of BS in my own life, too, but I'm trying, man. Last couple of days, I've been making phone calls, trying to deal with, like the FMAs was helping me so I could go to the doctors, for my copay, and then also to pay for my medication. And I just found out I got that approved, so that's cool. But then soon, I got to make a call probably tomorrow, which tomorrow is Wednesday, or as I like to call it, Wednesday. Hell, the mighty Wes. Got to call him again and set it up to get a colonoscopy. And who knows, maybe I'll record a new Fart Monster album, because apparently I'm going to be crapping nonstop. And luckily, my room is right next to the bathroom. And we got a bathroom upstairs, so my buddy could use that one. I already asked him in advance. I said, hey, man, if you don't mind, I'm going to have to, because everybody's been telling me, dude, you're going to, you run into the bathroom. And my friend Laura was like, you're probably going to want to get wipes because your ass is going to be hurting. And I'm like, I'm not looking forward to that. But you never know. Maybe I'll have my Zoom right here. Maybe I'll have my Zoom. And I'll do a new Fart Monster album. I mean, that's disgusting good. It is disgusting. That's the whole point. And if you know what Fart Monster is, you don't know what Fart Monster is? That was a quote-unquote band that I made up. It's a giant monster, comes out of the ocean, throws up, farts, vomits. It's a big, nasty monster. And if all goes well, I'm trying to find the master tape right now and the CDR that it was transferred to and get that to a buddy of mine, because the possibility of a pro-duped cassette coming out. I really shouldn't say anything else. I won't say who it is, but I would love to do it. I think it'd be great because all these people are like, oh, yeah, man, but for some brutal, nihilistic hardcore, some total noise freak, and then they hear this, it's just like, it sounds like diarrhea and vomiting. I think it's funny.
You're still afraid?
Stop it now! I mean it!
He's coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant!
He's coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're acting like a
He's
child!
coming for you. Look, here he comes.
Now he'll hear you!
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here, PCA. Tune in to PCA's Podcast Weekly on Beyond the Podcast of 1984. BTP 1984.com. Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Just something I did a long time ago. I've done a couple different split tapes. I had my friend Jason from CNP, Chaotic Noise Productions, and the Mighty Suppression did a tribute to Fart Monster. And I got 2 copies of it, but I don't have 1 copy because I gave one to one of my friends who's always hooking me up with a lot of, cool, rare stuff. So, Kai, I hope that you enjoyed that tribute to Fart Monster, because I did. I gave him my only other copy. But Kai also gave me the menu. What was it called? Menu of Power, something like that. It was a compilation. It was a whole bunch of bands, and they God, I can't remember how many bands are on it. But I wrote to the guy from KDVS, this guy Oregon donor, who I have no clue what happened to that dude. He just disappeared or something. But he was a DJ on a radio station, and long story short, they did a benefit. It was a benefit CD, and it was in an issue of 10 Things Jesus Wants You to Know, which I never got my copy. I sent the guy like $3 and never got it. that was the time I ordered a ton of stuff, and most of the people never sent me anything. And of course, they're all punk rockers. And I'm not saying all punk rockers are ripoffs, but well, all these punk rockers were ripoffs. So never got that. Never got my catalog from this guy named Jeff Diamond or whatever his name was. I don't know if that was the name, but he did a big old distro. Never got the catalog. Ordered an issue of Change fanzine. Never got it. A guy named Yoel Tolbert does Time Like Tunes. Sent him one of my comic books, and he sent me like a flyer, and that was it. He goes, oh, I guess my comic wasn't good enough. I'm like, oh, I could send you something, but you can't send me something to trade. Piss off, rip off. I mean, that was like 20-something years ago, but still, you know what? Piss off. I'd like to say F off, but I don't want Tim to bleep out too much, or assholes. So anyhow, yeah, what was my point? So that issue of 10 things that I got, there was the guy was cool. He was reviewing all this grind noise and some black metal and thrash and stuff. And he said they were looking for bands, and I thought, why not? I actually called the guy. He actually had a phone number. And long story short, I ended up on the comp. I did a song called Godzilla Forever by the Earwigs, and I never got the CD for some reason. The guy just disappeared. And then years later, my buddy Kai from Takedown UAV, which I apologize, I can't remember what your project's called now. He gave me his only copy that he got because he saw that I was on. And he's like, dude, this is for you. And he, I'm hoping you made that copy for yourself. If you didn't, let me know. I got to make a copy. Got to get you a copy of the cover too, buddy. But I was getting near around the time that I was on a bunch of comps, and that was pretty cool. But no, I'm just really frustrated because I am, when it comes to technology, I have never figured out making CDs. I made one CD by accident. I got the audio from one of my shows I played years ago. I think it was the Checkerboard. Yeah, it was here in Spokane. And I had the audio, and I was actually able to make a CD, but that was kind of a fluke. And in fact, I sent that to my buddy. That's supposed to be on a split with Extreme Hair Stench and Gorgonized Dorks. Rest in peace, cats. And still wait for that. Hopefully, I'll get that soon, as well as a Hot Ice CDR from a 45-minute tape that I recorded several years ago in my bathroom. It was a lot of fun. It was like a childhood band idea I came up with, and I finally recorded it. I came up with it in '84. Finally recorded it. I don't know how many years ago it was. It's on the list, on the tape, on the cassette, I think, or something. I don't know. Just found the song titles, but anyways, I can't remember when I recorded it. But no, I mean, I'm trying, man, but I just feel like I fell a lot, and I mean, I was gonna just give a friend of mine a break, but we've been talking. She's really cool. I dig her. She's one of my favorite people, and I don't know, I was feeling depressed about just all kinds of different things, recently, just other depression. I'm like, I'll give you a break. She's like, don't do that. And I'm kind of glad she kind of kicked me in the ass without knowing it. And if you're hearing this, I just wanted to thank you. So thanks. And, it's just weird because I'm one of those, kind of have a bad habit of be all, end all, doesn't matter. And that kind of sucks. That attitude sucks. But, I don't know, man. I'm just me. And, that's something I was going to bring up too, is some people think I repeat myself a lot. Yeah, I do. It's a habit I have. And I'm going to say this for the last time. The reason why I repeat myself is because I talk to a lot of people. I talk to people online. I talk to people on the phone. Sometimes I talk to people in public. I go to the corner store. I got a buddy who works there, a real cool guy. Another guy works there. He's a pretty good guy too. Actually, they're all cool there. I talk to a lot of different people. Sometimes I repeat myself. You don't like it, but what I don't like is when people do you told me. I'm like, wow, you got to be rude. I got other people that repeat themselves. I don't get mad. I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, I remember that. Because it's like, come on, you don't have to be such a ass. You don't have to be rude. Anyhow, and I've been told in the past that I'm, kind of overwhelming, and I admit that kind of hurt my feelings. And I thought about it. I could be overwhelming sometimes, and honestly, I don't care. Fine. I'm overwhelming to people. But here's the deal. I've been working on it for myself, trying to be a better conversationalist, because I used to have a bad habit of interrupting people, and I felt really bad, and I would feel bad later about it. And I've apologized, and I've worked on it. Sometimes my skills have been bad. But what's really funny is being told recently, which really kind of ticked me off, that, I was always overbearing and starting fights with everybody and really hard to get along with. And it's funny because, you know what? That's a bunch of bullshit. And I'm going to state this right now. That's in a fanzine that comes with the Be a Freak double LP, which is based on the cassette that came out years ago on Be a Freak Records. And then it ended up as a CD. I wish I could remember Fecal Matter Discorporate. Somebody put it out on CD. Anyways, so there's this really huge fanzine that comes. It's not really huge, but this fanzine comes with it. And it's a big interview with Billy Nocera. And first of all, Billy, I considered him my best friend for quite a while. I freaking loved that dude. And I loved being in Pile of Eggs with all you guys. Billy, Steve Eggs. Steve Eggs was the ringleader. Roach, Mike Duncan. And then a bunch of people like Jamie Eoy. Who was it? John from Snot Rockets. Chris Dora from Decrepit. Jim Kanya from Minch and Nunslaughter and From the Deaths and Schnauzer, Mighty Minch. Freaking love Minch, man. Anyhow, I gotta say that was kind of a kick in the balls, because I was reading and my friend Rusty did the fanzine for breathing problems to put the record out. He was talking, he asked me, like, what'd you think of BCA? And he said some nice things, and I do appreciate it, man. I don't even know if you're going to hear this, but that did kind of hurt my feelings, just saying I was, all this stuff. I'm like, what do you mean overbearing? This dude and I got along just fine. The only person that I had any problems with was Steve Eggs, and that was not every day. Steve and I think our egos clashed. I was also, whether you know it or not, Billy, was going through some rough times. My grandma had been gone for less than a year, who was more like a mother to me. I didn't know what I was going to do when that noise fest was over, because like a fool I was. And I don't know how many times I can apologize to Steve Eggs and also, to his mother, rest in peace, that I just showed up without any kind of warning. I didn't even call ahead like, hey, man, is it okay, if I come out there earlier? Because the Noise Fest didn't start till, I think it was about a month after I showed up uninvited. And that was rude of me, and I did apologize. I hope you know that, Mr. Eggs. I did apologize to your mom. I thought your mom was a pretty nice gal, and I could understand her being kind of ticked with me because she didn't really know me, and and I heard some stuff that had happened, and I totally understand, man. So a lot of respect to your mom. Rest in peace. But with Billy, it's like Billy and I got along great. Roach, I mean, I got along with everybody. I got along with Steve for the most part, but once in a while we would clash. And I definitely could be immature. I admit that. But like I said, dealing with a bunch of crap. And it was a whole new thing. From here I was hanging out with people, actually wanted to do stuff. And I'm not used to that either. Nobody seems like ever wants to do anything except for my friend Adam from Moth and Root Map. We've done a lot of stuff. Anyways, I just want to get this out because I was like, what are you talking about? Hard to get along with. It's funny because Billy and I got along just fine. And like I said, I consider him my best friend in the world at the time. I thought the dude was awesome. I loved talking to him. We used to talk on the phone a lot. So that kind of it's kind of a kick in the balls right there, overbearing. And it's like, you know what? Maybe I could be. I was pretty excited to hang out with you guys. Not so much anymore. I mean, I talked to Steve online off and on. We get along just fine. He's all right. He's a good guy. I don't hate him. I don't hate you either, man. I don't. Mike Duncan, I haven't talked to him in a while. Just bad time with that dude. And if anybody knows Mike and you want to play this for him, fine, play it for him. I don't care. He pulled some crap on some other people. Wasn't anything really bad. It was just it seemed like a very ego thing. And I was really taken back. I thought, here I am. I'm finally hanging out with a friend of mine I haven't seen in years. And it was just, wow. Treated very rudely, nonstop in my own house. And I wasn't, I was just like, what the hell? So anyways, I mean, Maybe we'll talk again someday. I did. I blocked the dude. I don't care if that's immature. Good. Of course, he'd said crap online, like, oh, you gotta quit taking this online stuff so seriously. It's like, dude, you're the one. I should have just told him. It's like, you're the one I'm having a lot of the problems with. You're just being rude to me. You're being a know-it-all, kind of a narcissist. But I'm going to tell you this right now. There's no hate for anybody. There's no hate at all. Okay, guys? If you want to hate me, you want to say all this crap about me, say it. I don't care. I'm not going to hide and say, well, I don't really want to open up any can of worms or whatever. Whatever. I'm not opening up a can of anything. Sheesh. Anyways, I'll always love Stupidity Records. I love the Tracy Lords Loves Noise, Pissed Off Orgasm, Lord Zilla Blaster. I'm still flattered that you put out that 7-inch with the earwigs. I love it. I still have my copies. I have the test pressings that you gave me, which I was really surprised. He gave me all the test pressing. I still have them. I think that I have like 2 of them. I'm sorry that you quit all that stuff, but that's fine, man. I don't hold that against you. The only reason why I quit talking to you is it just kind of turned into a person I didn't know. You know what I mean? It became really different. Not the friend that I remembered. I mean, that's fine, but just totally 100% turned against noise and stuff. I mean, that's fine. That's kind of dumb to like, but it wasn't just that. It's a bunch of other crap that was pulled, and I'm not going to get into it here, but let's just say, when we were on that message board, just kind of, that whole thing was just screwed up. I thought that was really disrespectful, especially when not just me, but everybody being insulted on there, being a troll on there, calling me a gook lover and all that. And, oh, it's just a joke. And like, yeah, and it kept doing that constantly. That's not funny. And, but aside from all that, it's like, of course. And then all the crap that came out of all that, other stuff that happened or whatever, that's fine. I'm proud of you for a lot of your accomplishments. I still cherish a lot of the releases, the early releases, I gotta say. On Razorback, I still have was it Blood Freak? I still have those CDs. I have the Ghoul stuff. I have the WTN. I absolutely over the top love the 2 Impetigo reissues. Those are freaking beautiful. Those are awesome. Still a huge fan. I got a lot of Impetigo. One of these days I got to do at least, I don't know if enough to do a whole episode, but I need to praise Impetigo because they can never be praised enough. Anyways, there's no hate here, but I had to let this out because ever since I got that LP and then I read all that stuff, I'm like, what? And, like I said, that kind of hurt, but that's fine. Whatever, that's fine. But, whatever, but yeah, on my part, just kind of, dumb to quit talking to somebody over some kind of dumb things. But on the other hand, hey, that's what I did. I don't hate you, dude. I wish you the best. I think it's great that you're putting out all these these books of fanzines like the Uniforce. And then there's the Scab Bag collection, which I'm supposed to be getting a copy of that from Steve Eggs. I'm really excited. I'm going to definitely hook him up with some stuff, but I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I think that's awesome. And I really want to get my hands on the Uniforce one. I've got an old issue of that. I think it was the final issue that Mark from Impetigo did, and then he quit it. But it was a cool zine, man. Really good stuff. But, moving along. Anyways, like I said, there's no hate, and I cherish all the great memories. And I have probably more good memories than bad memories of hanging out with everybody at the Pile of Eggs, the Egg Fest. Those are great times, man. And I'll always, even if we never ever hang out again, I will always have some of the greatest memories and some of the finest, funnest, most ridiculous times. And I love all you guys. And, I wish you all the best. And like I said, I talk to Steve Eggs once in a while, and he seems like he's doing good, man. And Nut Screamer's a nut job. And Billy, you're doing great with, I don't know if you're still calling it Razorback or Razorback Books now or whatever, but hey, man, keep it up. Roach, I don't know what you're doing. Last thing I heard, you were in Hollywood. Probably won't even hear this, but working on Blu-rays for big films and stuff? That's cool. Duncan, I don't know what you're doing. I guess you're still doing black mayonnaise. I still love black mayonnaise. I love Season of Discontent. I still have that 7-inch that you gave me a long time ago, and I cherish it. Maybe one day we'll talk again, okay? I don't hate you, dude. And then everybody else in Ohio that I met, all the decrepit guys were awesome. And Jim, rest in peace. Love you, brother. We didn't get along a whole lot, but it doesn't really matter. Jim was a very selfless human being, and I will always, from the bottom of my heart, be beyond honored that we were invited to record with Minch. And I love that split with Gonculator, and it's gold in my book. And it will always mean the world to me of being in a band that was one of my biggest inspirations for doing the earwigs. Because I tell you, the first time I heard that one-sided 7-inch by Minch just kicked me in the butt. And it was definitely an inspiration. And of course, Steve Eggs and I, when we did all that PU stuff, some of that was definitely inspired by Minch. And Minch will always freaking rule, man. And I love the 7-inch. Oh, that's 7-inch, sorry. I have all this vinyl, but the CD compilation of all the Minch stuff that came out many years ago. That needs to get a reissue, by the way. That's freaking gold. But it's really awesome, too, to have the original 45s. Well, anyhow, so, yeah, I guess, I don't know what you want to call this episode, but yeah, just some stuff I had to get out. But, doing this show does make me feel better when I'm feeling down, and I have been feeling a lot better for the last probably, I don't know, hour and a half, because I'm just, feeling depressed and stuff, and my eye is still screwed up. I mean, I'm pretty sure, sorry, I'm just doing that test of my eye right now. I can see a little bit better out of it, but not all that great. My eye is still, screwed, and then I'm going to be having more medical stuff that I'm dealing with, and more just all kinds of stuff, financial crap, you name it. Anyhow, one of my big goals is I got to try to get my comic book out there, see what I can do, man, but it's better to just do it than talk about it. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this, because I've had a bad habit of doing that. And I just want to thank everybody who does believe in me and has said kind words, people past and present and future, man. I'm not done. So try to get some more episodes done, get these in the so-called can, so I could get this SD card to Mr. Matson and get season 2 out. I should have had this done, but like I said, I've been slow. I haven't been feeling good. Just been, kind of up to the usuals, working normally, playing video games, watching a buttload of movies. I think my last episode, I was talking about I was watching a lot of Takeshi Miike films. I'm kind of taking a break now. I just finally got back into Cromartie High School, the anime, and I just finished Volume 2 from the 3 DVD set. It came out in 2005. I don't know, I think the show might have come out in 2005, but it's one of the greatest anime series. It's really freaking hilarious, and it's total parody of tough, school, toughs, Yakuza wannabes, and I highly recommend it. I've got the live action. That's actually on my pile to watch. Again, I saw it once and it was pretty awesome. But yeah, recently I watched Leviathan Special Edition and then The Boogans, which I need to talk about more. That movie's great. It's one of those movies, I liked it, then I didn't really like it. That was kind of boring, and I'm pretty sure, I think I had it on VHS. I got rid of it because I thought it was kind of Well, I just had this obsession with getting it. Anyways, so I got it, watched it again. Really enjoyed it. It was fun. Watched Hobo with a Shotgun again. Loved it. Still love that movie. I've seen it 3 times now. And I do want to say for the record that I'm really getting tired of these holier than thou snobs. I've read some stuff, people yeah, you want to see a real underground film and not hipster retro garbage Hobo with a Shotgun. It's really? Why don't you go make a movie then? You think you're so freaking badass and cool. I was just kind of sick of that kind of crap. This holier than thou, it's like the same people that, oh, Quentin Tarantino sucks, and Eli Roth sucks, and Rob Zombie sucks. It's like, you know what? Don't watch the freaking movies. Why don't you spend your time to use your energy for something more positive? There's a lot of stuff I don't like, and guess what? I don't care. I like Rob Zombie's films. I like all of his films. I don't care for every Eli Roth film, but the few that I like I love Cabin Fever. I like Hostel. I thought Thanksgiving was okay. I didn't think it was that great, but I need to watch it again. But I didn't hate it. I just it didn't really sink in. I'm kind of like, eh. But Quentin Tarantino, I used to hate Quentin Tarantino. And I always want to thank my friend Mike at the Satellite Diner several years ago. We were hanging out one day, and I was going on how much I didn't like Quentin Tarantino, and he goes, "Dude, I'm really surprised at you." And I was like, "Why?" And he says, "I bet you if you two hung out, you'd find that you have a lot in common because you're both into cult films, you're into stuff I've never even heard of, I've never would even thought of." But the funny thing is, I thought about it. I'm like, maybe he's got a point. And not to sound like a cheese ball here, but it's like, yeah, I mean, I always liked Jackie Brown. I always thought that was a great movie. I picked that up a couple of years ago, like a year and a half ago. Got it on Blu-ray. Love that. Still love that movie. That movie's excellent. But anyways, I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, and then I don't know. I thought about it. I'm like, why am I so hateful about Quentin Tarantino? Some people, oh, he's a hipster. Oh, yeah, he's a 60-plus-year-old hipster. Say, whatever. That you people probably have more in common than Quentin Tarantino than you know. I mean, that dude and I apparently, I don't know, probably wasn't the same year, but we both used to try to dress like Chow Yun Fat, walk around with a toothpick in our mouth and a trench coat, sunglasses. I think that's freaking great. I'd love it if I ever met Tarantino. I'd tell him, hey, man. But anyhow, I love Tarantino. I like all of his films. Stuff, he's written freaking, oh my God, my brain's not working. Natural Born Killers. I own that. I own a lot of Quentin Tarantino. I like what I like. And that's the thing is, I don't give a damn. Like that new movie, it just came out. I saw it a few weeks ago, that In a Violent Nature. I loved it. I know some people are bitching, oh, it's artsy. So what? Why? Because it's not just, I liked it a lot. I like the fact that it was brutal. It's gory. It's definitely original in my opinion. I mean, yeah, it's this guy crawls out on the ground and starts killing all these people. He has a reason why. I don't want to spoil that. But anyhow, I really like that movie a lot. I think it's great. And it's already on my wish/want must get list. And I like a lot of different stuff. I like a lot of early horror films and different genres of film, and I like a lot of newer films. The other day I was talking to a buddy of mine. I was like the Osterman Weekend, which is kind of a thriller. That's a great movie, man. Osterman Weekend, Inherent Vice, freaking great movie. Joaquin Phoenix is great. I just watched recently the Sixth Sense. I'd never seen that. And I absolutely loved it. And I love M. Night Shyamalan. Oh, you're so positive. You love everything. I like a lot of stuff. Like I said, why waste my time talking about stuff I don't really like? I like a lot of bad stuff. I thought Birdemic was great in an absolutely horrible way. Oh my God, that movie's bad. If you haven't seen it and you really just, wow, that movie is just terrible. Sorry, I think about it and I start sinking into a black hole. It's kind of like the first time I watched Things from '89, which I love that movie. I really love Things. That movie is just, it's not even horrible. It's just really, really weird. It's incredible. There's a whole bunch of movies like that. You get The Room, which picture-wise is just really well done. Choreography is great. It's just that the dialogue is pretty bad, but it's but the worst is probably Birdemic. Wow. I know every time I think about that movie, I got to quit talking about it, but I ended up getting that Blu-ray set that came out. God, came out? I think what did I get it a year and a half ago, a year ago? It's called the the Birdemic trilogy. I don't remember what it's called. I can't even remember who put it out. It was like, I don't think it was, God, I can't remember if it was freaking Vinegar Syndrome. No, it was, I don't even remember. I can't, like I said. Anyways, look it up. Type in Birdemic Blu-ray set. And people were bitching, too. They're like, this company could have put out a lot better stuff. It's like, well, they didn't. They put this out, and they got a lot of other stuff coming out, idiot. So if you don't like it, don't watch it. That's like the thing, man. I can't stand, I hate, despise Hallmark movies. And guess what? I don't have to watch them, but I can sit here and bitch about them. Why? Which I like to, because I think they're so frickin' terrible. I almost want to make a Hallmark type movie, but it would be a slasher film and make it really like generic. Anyhow, so yeah, I am the Bizarre Alien, and I'm still thinking about my space girl every day, wishing she was here, hanging out with my cats. Very rarely, off and on, drinking non-alcohol beer. I only drink one at a time, and that's very rare because of the carbohydrates, which is not good for me. Eating chips, not eating Tim's Cascade potato chips anymore. I used to eat those things like crazy. The jalapeno, I can't eat those anymore. Last time I had them, I felt really sick because the sugar level just went skyrocketing, man. Anyhow, yeah, this has been this episode. It's been nice to get some stuff out. And for you folks I mentioned, really, I don't, like I said, I'm really tired. So I don't hurt you guys because I don't hate anybody. I hope you're all doing good. All the pile of eggs guys. I hope you're doing good. And I don't know, are we ever gonna get together again to do something? I don't know. I think it could happen. I think it'd be a lot of fun. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you never know, man. We're all older. And I'll just give you all big giant bear hugs because I look like a freaking bear right now because I haven't shaved in like 5 years. It's just ironic too. I just want to say real fast on the subject is I thought about trying to get hold of Billy like not that long ago, and then I read that and it kind of just like, oh geez, in that zine, and it's like, God dang it. I mean, I got really ticked at first, and then I'm like, whatever, that's fine. Like I said, no hate. I repeat myself. I'm doing that right now. I'm feeling defensive, but it's all good. And before I end this episode, I wanted to say thanks again to Mean Dave, having us, Paul from God Stomper, Dan from Spaz and SBA, surrounded by assholes, Andy from Captain Three Leg and Mortville Records, and yours truly, the Bizarre Alien from the Earwigs, and Xeno Night Mirror, which is what I'm calling my comic / label, whatever now. Xeno Night Mirror, not Mirror, Night Mirror. It's also the name of the ship that my lady flies around and that I fantasize she's in, this big freaking battle cruiser. Anyways, yeah, just kind of up to the usuals, Watching my favorite game show at work every night after midnight, which is great. I love it. I don't know, man. Just trying to take care of myself. Doing my dishes, hanging out with my cats, playing games, watching movies, watching anime, trying to catch up on stuff. Some packages. I'll get those together. Anyways, thanks to everybody for listening to the show. And as usual, well, we didn't really say this in the first season, but in this season, we got that you can leave comments now, and don't forget, you can leave comments, questions, insults, praises, whatever, donations if you want. They're always nice. To BTPO1984.com, and then that same beginning thing, Buzzsprout. I think it's BTPO1984.buzzsprout. I haven't been able to access, but maybe I will. Anyhow, this has been the Bizarre Alien from Outer Space saying thank you for listening to the show. Upcoming episodes coming hopefully this week. This weekend it will probably be the G.G. Allen one, and also the WTF Zombies, which has been one of the longest promised things of anything I've ever done in my life. I think I had the idea about less than 10 years ago. I was going to write an essay Then I wanted to do a video, and then I was hoping to be a part of Netherworld Video Zine and maybe talking about them. But I'm hoping that will still happen because I've been talking to Diablo a lot. Love you, brother. And all the Netherworld Video Zine, 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse weirdos, as I like to call us all. Anyways, hoping to be doing some stuff with Netherworld Video Zine. Being a parasitic guest on there or something. Hope to do that. But thanks, Bean Dave, for having us on your show. Can't wait to do another episode. Also, thanks to Will Wisbicki from Heavy Hole Podcast for having the earwigs on there. Looking forward, man. If I ever get off my ass to get this double LP together, but like I said, right now, I don't have a way to do it. I do have my master CDs, but I don't have a computer that's strong or whatever enough to put this stuff together. Hopefully, I know I'm kind of rambling now. That's me. People complain about that too. Well, hey, press that. Don't press that like button. Press that get out of here button and go listen to something else. Anyhow, I would love to do a follow-up episode and talk about the LP when I get it together. I know once it's going, it's gonna go. It's gonna kick ass. Thank you, Rusty, from Breathing Problems. Cheers, brother. Lots of love, and always a major giant love to my kitties and my dream lady, all my friends and family. This has been BCA, Charles F. Styles, Carlos Montana, whatever else, from outer space. We'll see you. Well, we won't see you unless, I don't know. We'll, get ready for the next episode of Beyond the Podcast of 1984. All right, I'm out of here. Keep watching the skies. Blah, blah, blah.
Beyond the podcast of 1984.
Beyond the podcast of
84. What is this?
It's Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Well? Oh.
It's just BCA.
Better not be. I warn you, for many years, I have been training as an acrobat. Know a lot of tricks.
Well, then show us on btp1984.com.
Of course I wouldn't. Hey! Well.
BCA finds it very hilarious. Maybe you could tune in and listen to the show, btp1984.com.
Sure. What do you think I am? A fake?
Are you a diehard fan of Beyond the Podcast of 1984? Do you want to show off your love for the podcast in style? Well, look no further. Introducing our exclusive podcast merch line. From t-shirts that will make you the envy of all your alien friends, to hats that will keep you looking freaky while repping your favorite podcast. We've got everything you need to take your Beyond the Podcast of 1984 fandom to the next level. So don't wait. Head to btp1984.com now and grab yourself some podcast merch before it's all gone. And remember, wearing BCA's merch will automatically make you funnier and more attractive. Get your Beyond the Podcast of 1984 merch today and join BCA's podcast revolution.